On November 7, 2025, Trooper Trey Davis was patrolling near Colonel Glenn Road and Interstate 430 when he spotted a blue Dodge Charger that had previously fled from the Alexander Police Department. Davis attempted to initiate a traffic stop, but the driver, later identified as Malik Moore, exited onto Colonel Glenn Road and accelerated away at a high rate of speed, sparking a pursuit.
Drive 32 to 37.
The driver turned north onto Bowman Road, where he quickly lost control of the vehicle. To prevent a dangerous and prolonged high-speed pursuit, Trooper Davis moved in and executed a precise pit maneuver, sending the Charger rotating counterclockwise. Moments later, Trooper Chase Landry arrived and pinned the front of the suspect vehicle, bringing the pursuit to a decisive end. Malik Moore was removed from the vehicle and taken into custody without further incident. A subsequent investigation revealed the vehicle carried no liability insurance. The rear tires were dangerously defective, Moore was not wearing a seatbelt, and his driver's license was suspended. He was transported to Baptist Health Medical Center, medically cleared, and then booked into the Pulaski County Regional Detention Facility. On May 28, 2021, Trooper Love was patrolling State Route 96 when he spotted a gray sedan barreling down the roadway at a high rate of speed. Love activated his emergency lights and initiated a traffic stop, and the driver initially complied, pulling onto the shoulder. But moments after Trooper Love stepped out of his patrol unit, the driver suddenly took off, fleeing the stop and triggering a pursuit. The pursuit escalated to speeds of 120 miles per hour as the driver weaved aggressively through traffic, recklessly blowing past multiple vehicles. Trooper Love closed the distance and delivered a controlled strike to the rear of the sedan, forcing the driver to slow down and pull over to get his family safely out of the vehicle before conducting a pit maneuver.
To your current location, please. Over.
Don't go.
I'm with it.
Going towards landing traffic.
Go ahead, sir. Get your way there. Tell what we're trying to.
If you slow down.
While setting up for the pit, Trooper Love spotted a baby strapped into the rear passenger seat, forcing him to quickly adjust his approach. He shifted to the driver's side and executed a precise pit maneuver, sending the sedan rotating counterclockwise, sliding across the median and both eastbound lanes before coming to an uncontrolled stop on the south shoulder of State Route 22. Trooper Love ordered the driver out at gunpoint and took him into custody without further incident. When asked why he fled with his wife and infant in the car, the wife stated simply that he was scared. Nearby residents rushed over to care for the baby, while the mother offered no assistance. The driver, identified as Antoine Barnes, was found to have multiple warrants and was transported to the county jail, where he was charged accordingly. On October 25, 2025, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper responded to reports of a stolen Toyota that was actively fleeing the area. Within minutes, he located the vehicle idling in a nearby parking lot. The moment the trooper pulled in, the Toyota lurched forward and he immediately initiated a pursuit.
traffic. Gonna be 8 miles per hour, stop down on Paso. Turn into a residential area. Coming back out. Alright, back on Paso, Don't stop down. Back on Paso.
After attempting to swerve into the opposite lane to get away, the Toyota driver lost control, shooting across the median and slamming into a ditch on the right side of the roadway. He bailed out and tried to run, but Florida troopers closed the distance instantly, taking him into custody without further incident. The suspect was secured in the back of the patrol unit and transported to the county jail, where he was charged with fleeing, reckless driving, theft of property, and driving on a suspended license. On June 8, 2024, Trooper Robbins was patrolling along Highway 70 West when he spotted a gray Range Rover displaying fictitious tags. Robbins activated his lights and sirens to initiate a traffic stop, but the driver refused to pull over, instantly turning the encounter into a full-blown pursuit. The vehicle continued barreling westbound at a dangerously high rate of speed, but Trooper Robbins closed the distance and executed a textbook-perfect pit maneuver, launching the Range Rover briefly into the air before it slammed back down and became fully disabled. The driver was trapped inside due to the mangled door and unable to exit. EMS arrived moments later and transported her to St. Vincent's emergency room for treatment. A computer check revealed the driver, identified as Haley Hollingsworth, had multiple active search warrants out of Garland County. Once medically cleared, she was transported to the county jail, where she was charged with fleeing, reckless driving, and driving on a suspended license. On November 5, 2025, Trooper Tyler Nelson was alerted by Drug Task Force officers that a black Ford F-150, already tied to an active narcotics investigation, had just made a turn at Y Street without using a signal. With both a traffic violation and a potential drug case in play, Nelson moved in to conduct a traffic stop, but the Ford immediately bolted, igniting a full-blown pursuit.
Black Ford F-150. Stay off there, he's not stopping. It'll be 1037. 1037, Portsmouth. 45 secondary. Well, on Utica, Caesar 48, Utica South 17. We're going to come back to Jenny Lynn. Go back on. Quick, no. Highway go. Highway go.
After making a high-speed turn, the Ford driver lost control and slammed into a parked pickup truck, disabling his vehicle and ending any chance of escape. The driver, identified as Mark McCusker, and his passenger, Lenita Dye, were ordered out at gunpoint and taken into custody without further resistance. Inside the truck, officers uncovered roughly 5 ounces of suspected methamphetamine in the back seat, 3 oxycodone pills, and a staggering $6,500 in cash. McCusker admitted he had ingested oxycodone before driving, adding yet another layer of danger to the situation. Both suspects were transported to the Sebastian County Detention Center, where McCusker was booked on charges including possession with intent to deliver, possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, fleeing, criminal mischief, and driving while intoxicated. Dye was booked on possession with intent to deliver, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. On January 22, 2025, Trooper Jonathan Bass was assisting Sebastian County officers with a traffic stop when the driver suddenly fled the scene. Without hesitation, Bass jumped into action, initiating a pursuit and rapidly closing the distance on the fleeing vehicle.
Of 84, speeding 100, trying to fit him right now.
Trooper Bass moved in to perform a pit maneuver, but the fleeing vehicle swerved sharply, completely evading the attempt. The high-speed pursuit pressed on, with the suspect refusing to yield.
Still northbound, coming up to 71, stand by, let you know which way we're going. We're headed back towards the house. We're on south, 100. Turn that village south apartment.
The pursuit eventually veered into a large open field, where Trooper Bass executed a successful pit maneuver on the fleeing vehicle, while Trooper Matthew Price moved in to pin it, fully disabling it from any further escape. Trooper Price was accompanied by a K-9 unit, adding an extra layer of security and control to the scene.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Fucking! Here! Fucking! My dog! Fucking! Get out now! Get out! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now!
The driver was finally removed from the vehicle and taken into custody following a brief physical struggle on the ground. EMS personnel were promptly dispatched to provide medical attention, and he was transported to Baptist Hospital in Fort Smith for further treatment. Once cleared, the driver, identified as David Bruce, was taken to the Sebastian County Detention Center and booked on charges of fleeing, reckless driving, failure to wear a seatbelt, resisting arrest, and battery. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to comment which clip you liked the most. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video.